Hey guys, here we are again today, back in the kitchen. Well, it's almost Thanksgiving time. We got a lot of stuff going on. Everybody's getting family stuff going, getting ready to go to dinners and parties and stuff like that. It's just that time of year. So, I had a lot of people comment and wanting me to make another video about some stuff. So, what we're making today is cornbread dressing. And man, if you know anything about Thanksgiving, cornbread dressing is where it's at. And I make great cornbread dressing. Some people in my life, like my dad, man, he makes some dry cornbread dressing. It is like little squares of bricks. I mean, it's not that good. So you want your cornbread dressing to be nice and good and moist and, man, just hit the spot. That's what we want. I don't make giblet gravy, so don't ask for giblet gravy. I'm not into the giblets and all that. But here we go. So first thing we have is our bowl. You gotta have a good mixing bowl. And what you want, there's different ingredients to cornbread dressing. It's not all cornbread, but we do have a pan of cornbread that I made earlier. So what you want to do is just crumble this up really good. Take a whole pan of cornbread, make it specially just for your cornbread dressing. And you want to crumble it up really good. Then, what my mom always said is always take any other leftover bread that you have around and mix with it. So what you want to do is you want to mix your other breads. So cornbread dressing does have other stuff. So here's some old bread that we have. Not old, it's good, but it's the end pieces. Just different stuff. So you want to put your pieces of bread in there. And just kind of tear them up into little bitty bits to put them in there. Always makes for good dressing. What you want to do is you want to fill your bowl up so you have about 50-50 of bread and cornbread. And what are some traditional foods that you guys like to have for Thanksgiving? Is it macaroni and cheese? Is it mashed potatoes? Green beans? Turkey? Do you make a good turkey? Do you have any secrets and recipes for making a good turkey? You know, I've never made a turkey. My wife Robin always makes the turkey. She makes it fabulous and it's good and juicy and all that stuff. So I'm always regulated to making sides and eating. That's kind of my thing. But I do like to make different things. Do you make pies or desserts? Homemade stuff? I think one of my favorite Thanksgiving things is sweet potato souffle with sweet potatoes, brown sugar, marshmallows, butter, all the good stuff. I also have some biscuits. Always have some biscuits around. So we've got our bread in there. Let's go ahead and add some biscuits in that too. We can use any kind of bread that we want. We just want to get a good base for our dressing. And this all cooks up so well. So we've got a pan of cornbread, 4 or 5 slices of bread. Let's grab one more biscuit. So we got about 3 biscuits in there. If this is your size bowl, you want about halfway full of good stuff. Then you just kind of want to mix that together. Just get it all mixed together so you've got all kinds of breads, biscuits, cornbread, all that good stuff. Just want to kind of feel around to make sure there are no real big pieces in it. Alright, so we've got our bread. It's a really simple recipe, really fast and easy to make. It's not something that's going to take all morning like a turkey. So, first thing that we want to add is a stick of melted butter. Always got to have some butter in it. Everything goes better with butter. Then, onions are, I always put onions in mine. Some people don't. Usually at Thanksgiving I'll make one pan with onions, one pan without. I always eat the one with onions, but for those that don't, then we've got about a 1/4 cup of celery. And I only put about a 1/4 cup of celery because you don't want to overdo it. You want it to be a lot of celery in there. You want that celery flavor, but you don't want it to just be a celery deal. Alright, so then, if you don't have any turkey broth that you can't make on the day, a good way to make dressing is, like I said, it doesn't take all day to make. So if you put your turkey on in the morning And then if you're going to eat whatever time you're going to eat, an hour before the turkey's done, get you a nice cup of the broth of the turkey and use that, and that makes it really excellent. But if you don't, I always like just regular chicken broth. And I think we're going to need 2 cans of it. All right, we've got one can going. So let me take a second and open another can. Because you want it to have a really kind of a runny consistency. Again, almost like cake mix. Something like that. You don't want it to be thick. So we'll put another can in there. And start mixing that around. There we go. And you just kind of want to use your hands and knead all the bread together. Because the juice, again, the broth, is going to help break up the rest of that bread. Because you want it to be almost like a batter. Your bread turns into the batter. So it's getting really, really loose there. And that's good. So let me rinse my hands real quick. Next thing we need is a couple of eggs. Let me grab a couple of eggs. One egg. 2 eggs. No shells. Make sure you get your eggs mixed up and they're really good. Make sure that the yolks are broken and get in there really good. So right now we've got our batter stuff. Now it would be good right there, but not really. We need to season this stuff. Everything needs to be seasoned well. So we season it with black pepper, salt. And I guess if you measured this out, it would probably be about a teaspoon of black pepper and probably a half a tablespoon of salt. Maybe a little bit. I'd say a tablespoon of salt, because you don't want it to not be salty enough. Next, your ingredient would be, get my old little things here. This one I will measure out. You want about a teaspoon of sage, and that's what really gives it that flavor. Get a little bit of sage in there. Let me see what other. See if I have another spice I'm looking for. Okay, so put your sage in there because that gives it that really dressing flavor. And get it all mixed up. And folks, we are just about there. This is just about ready to check it out. So, what you want to do next is you really want to taste it before you put it in there. You don't want to pull it out and then it tastes bad. So you do want to give it a taste. Man, if you make this recipe just like this, your family and you will have an awesome Thanksgiving. This is awesome stuff. All right, got our pan. You use your regular casserole type pan. Put a little non-stick stuff on there. Pour your batter in. I say batter. Pour your dressing in. Man, make sure you get all of that. And if you like to hunt the day after Thanksgiving, like some people do, while it's being served, cut you a little square out, put it in a bag, set it aside, take it with you the next day in the woods. Very good. Okay, so we got our oven set to 350 degrees. Got our dressing in the pan ready to go. We will put it in here and we're going to bake that for about 1 hour until it's feel like it's starting to get firm. If it's starting to get firm, that's when it's done. Pull it out, let it cool, and eat. We will check it in a few minutes, in about an hour. All right, it is done. The timer has went off. It is cooked for an hour. So let's check it and pull it out. Lord, what a Thanksgiving dressing this will be. And this is dressing. As you know, it's not stuffing. Dressing and stuffing, two totally different things. I don't know how to make stuffing. I don't know if I've ever eaten it, but this is dressing. So let's cut us a little piece out. I'm going to get the coveted corner piece, which is great. Let's take that out. Set it right there. So, if you make one meal this year to take to a family dinner or to your own dinner, let this one be one of them. I mean, this one is fantastic. Let's give it a try and just see how it tastes. This is what it looks like. Little piece. But as you see, right there, very moist, very hot, very moist. Not dry, not a little brick. This is dressing. That's fabulous. So very quick recipe, very easy recipe to do. If you have any questions, let me know. I hope you make this, and if you never bring something to Thanksgiving dinner and you just show up and eat, this time you can bring something. Say, hey, I'm going to bring the dressing. See what happens. See if you make a new tradition. See you guys.